Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kane, your favorite extreme strategy gamer. We're back for more Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Today we're going to be playing a super modded run. I'm going to call it Super Calradia. It's super massive. If you're wondering what I have in my mods list, do exclamation mods on Twitch. If you're watching us on YouTube, it is in the YouTube descriptions. Alright, so we have a super duper number of mods here. I'll explain it when we launch the campaign because it's gonna take 5 minutes just to get the campaign loaded. Alright, so we've done that, so let's go over and check out our mods list. Alright, so I spent 2 weeks just getting these mods to work. And it's got lots and lots of content in there. So I'm gonna go through some of this, and if you're watching this in the future, which you're probably going to be, this will not work with the latest beta because the mods, there's some function changes, so a lot of stuff is going to be broken. So don't expect to run this on 1.5.10, but on 1.5.9, which is the current stable, it should work perfectly. So we have here hundreds of new troops, new custom troop trees, custom armor, custom weapons. We have 20 playable factions. We got 3 Roman factions. We have got the Amazons, the white one here, and then we got the Valkyries, which are not viewable actually. They're out of the map right here. We got the Samurai over here. We got the yellow guys, which are a Tang Dynasty inspired Chinese faction called Huaxia, which translates to Chinese heroes. Cool. And then Azeroids over here, and then there's Apostali here. I don't know what these guys are. I'm not that familiar with their troop trees. And then there's these guys over here, the Lyrian, which are an African-inspired faction. And over here we have the Kuzites and the Kyrgyz are broken into 2 factions with some slight differences in their troop trees. And over here we got Southern Empire. This is the Green Northern Empire. Up here you don't see them. They have 5 settlements, 5 towns. They're called the Nordlings. They're more closer to what the Nords look like. And then in the south here, well, not south, this is called the Western Empire, and they've also got the cool stuff going on. This is okay, there's some confusion here because there's 2 what do you call those things? Peliac, yeah, 2 Peliac kingdoms. One's here, which is done by the Calradia Expanded Kingdoms mod, and then there's another one that's over on this side that is created by the Eagles Rising mod. So I've combined so many mods together. They are kind of messy and confusing, but it's going to be awesome. So we're using a custom launcher, the Butter Loader. It's not necessary, but if you're new to modding, you probably want to use it because it helps you resolve some issues. But for me, I'm using it, but it really doesn't do much for me. But it's a nicer looking loader, so why not? So, but if you're new to trying to get your mods to work, I highly recommend it because that'll solve some of your problems. One of the first ones are the permission issue, locked DLLs and stuff like that. So if you use this, there's a quick way to just resolve that. That's mostly for people who are new to Bannerlord modding though. If you've spent some time on it, I spent 2 weeks doing this. At first I had some issues and then I just resolved it, but there are plenty. And this is the mod load order. First you go from top to bottom, and then once you finish this one, go to the next one, and next one, and next one, and next one, so on. And if you want to load exactly the same mods and you want them to not crash, you might want to look at my load order because this is pretty important to getting a lot of the stuff to work. Getting the wrong mod load order can result in some strange behavior, some mods not functioning properly, some items not loading, some units looking weird, and crashes, of course. Of course, the crashes. We love crashes, don't we? I've actually suffered maybe thousands of crashes getting this to work over the last 2 weeks. Alright, so Harmony is the core of this. It hasn't loaded yet, right? Yeah, still loading. So Harmony is the core to this. A lot of stuff relies on Harmony being there. Better exception window is meaning they catch crashes, and it tells you which mod caused the crash and what function triggered it. So it's helpful for debugging what's wrong with your mods, what's wrong with your mod list, or if giving a mod developer more information so they can go and fix it. Butterlib is used by a couple of mods. I'm trying to remove this, but there's some really nice mods that require them, and I guess I have to keep this up. Trying to run with as few mods as I need, while having as many as much content as possible. Party screen enhancement, this one helps you sorting your party order. Like if you like cavalry at the top or archers at the top, this lets you automatically sort that by their level as well as by their unit type. And you can also automatically put companions at the top and stuff like that. It saves a lot of time, so it's a nice little mod to have. This one lets you rename companions in town, which is cool because I can name my viewers and get them killed. I used to have one called Respec as well. I removed it because it's too broken. You could like respec them and then put all your points in a certain skill, and then once they leveled it to 300, you can switch it and level something else. Like, it's just too exploitable. I didn't want to recommend something that will allow you to exploit or cheat. But then people say, well, you recommended it, so I used it, and it's broken my game, kind of thing. So I don't want things that break your balance. I want the game to be challenging and fun, but I don't want to break balance. That is one of my criteria for being included in my mods list. So next up, we have give equipment to party leaders. When you want to give like a new bow to your trade caravan leader, and you can't because you'll have to disband it just to give him something. Well, this fixes that, so it's awesome. And then this Better Time mod lets you have 8x. There's actually a hotkey for 12x mode. I don't really use it. 8x is fast enough, and it's the number 4 key. If you want to just hit that really quick, like 1 is to pause, 2 is for regular speed, and 3 is the in-games maximum speed, which is 4x. If you hit hotkey of 4, it just speeds you up to 8x, which is cool. Show me tournaments is just a quality of life thing that shows you where the nearest tournaments are. A donate troop changer is needed for quite a number of custom troop mods, which allow you to spawn these mods into the regular troop trees. It allows you to have, like, okay, in the base game, there are 2 types of basic troops, right? One is the peasant line, the regular line, and then one is the noble line or the elite line. And there's just basically 2 types. But using a donate troop changer, you can insert multiple basic troop types into each of these spawn trees. So the basic tree could have like 5 types of units. Basic units, like 5 different kinds of peasants, 5 different kinds of recruits, or 10, or up to you. You can just set it up as much as you like. I heavily configured this stuff. It's really fun. Distinguished service allows you to promote soldiers into companions if they made more than 5 kills. In some cases, it's 6 or 7 kills required. Depending on what class they are. Like, for example, melee units need 5. I think range unit needs 6. 7 is for cavalry, I think, or something like that. But basically, between 5 to 7 units killed in a single battle qualifies the soldier to be promoted. I tweaked it so that it's not so overpowered. You'll have to pay these guys to recruit them as companions. And then in addition to that, I nerfed their equipment to cost next to nothing. And we have Tournaments Enhanced, which improves tournaments greatly by providing more XP per hit and more XP granted if you actually win the tournament. More Renown, which actually reduces the amount of grinding you have to do in the game, and selectable rewards. And you can also go into tournaments with a party. So you can have like 5 of your companions going in. It's cool. Improved Garrisons. I actually haven't tried it out yet because in my testing, I never quite got any land, so I'll figure this out. I hope it doesn't crash, but it looks like it's very regularly updated. Like, for example, 1.5.10 just got released yesterday, and already they have a patch that lets you use this with 1.5.10. Most of the other mods do not work on 1.5.10, so there's that. Rulership petitioners, I tried this out a little bit. There's some events that you can have when you have land, but again, I haven't tested it out extensively because most of my testing is just going in, checking things, and then crashing. So I don't really get very far in most of my tests. I finally got it stable though. After like thousands of crashes, I finally got it stable. Hey, what's up, Mosanchi? Welcome to the stream. Guten Tag, my friend. All right, attributes matter. Now, this one is a very, very huge mod. It makes a huge amount of changes into gameplay. Now, the first thing you got to know is that my settings, I have very high HP bonuses for endurance. So each point of endurance you have gives a 1.5 multiplier onto your health. I think it's 1.5. Yeah, so it's like if you have 2 points of endurance, you get 30 extra health. if your health was 100. If you have other perks giving you health, like maybe giving you 5 health here, 10 health there, it's 1.5 of your total. So it could be 1.5 per point. And if you have 110 health, you know, it's more than 30, like 33, for example. So this is a huge thing because this bonus applies to all heroes, not just you. It doesn't just make you superpowered. It applies to all heroes. So it applies to your companions. It applies to enemy lords. So if you have more vigor, you hit harder. All right. So there's a whole bunch. Every single stat now gives you something useful. Let me just load that up real quick. I have it right here. Okay. So this one's huge. You actually have to read to see what it actually does. But by default, you got more damage if you have vigor. If you have control, you have more range damage. And then cunning gives you attack speed. Reload speed is improved by cunning. Endurance improves your move speed as well. And extra HP. And then party size is improved by social. Persuasion ability is improved by social. XP is increased if you have intelligence, renown bonus attribute, social intelligence. That all of these things are there. So what I did was I tweaked the value and the amount of effect. Like for example, the HP, I increased this. The default is 0.5 per point. I increased it to 1.5, which is triple the bonus. The reason for that is I like heroes being heroes, you know, because in the base game, when you run in, then you see like heroes, like lords immediately dying. You know, they have 0 kills and they're dead. They're so crappy. So now with increased health and increased damage and all those other bonuses, lords are actually really scary, especially in tournaments. If you go into the arena and you fight them and the lords are there, it's going to be a real fight because these guys are going to be at all kinds of bonuses in there. It's going to be solid. Anyway, this is a huge game changer, I think, to make the game way more interesting. It doesn't just make it easier because your character gets stronger, but it makes all the other lords and all your companions stronger too. So in some ways, it makes it easier, but also makes it more interesting and more fun. So I like that. So back to mods list. Okay, so we got all... Oh, wait, the other one was better. Yeah, this one's better. Okay, it's bigger. Alright, so we got diplomacy, which lets you have alliances and non-aggression pacts, and you can set the timer between how often these things will be broken. And I've got custom tavern mercenaries. This lets you buy mercs at high prices. I set it to be really expensive, 4 times the regular cost. So you can buy mercs in taverns. You can already buy mercs in taverns by default, but this just lets you have more mercs that you can buy. Up to 30 more mercs that you can buy at 4x the cost. Freelancer is pretty cool. It changes gameplay massively as well. It allows you to serve as a foot soldier in a party. It doesn't have to be a lord. You can join up with bandits, you can join up with caravans, you can basically work for that party. It makes it a very interesting way to play. And it's not too unbalanced because I've tried starting as a freelancer, going out working for lords, and I've tried starting on my own. And I don't think it made that much difference. Like, you didn't really get much more money as a freelancer. In fact, I think it's harder to survive as a freelancer because you start as a recruit. So you start like a peasant or the lowest ranked soldier, and it's very hard to fight your way up. Anyway, and then we have Calradia Expander. Now this is the core for pretty much all of the other unit mods. Not unit mods, but the map mods, because this increases the map size, which is why we have such a massive map with so many towns and such. This is the basis. And then in addition to that, I added even more towns and cities and villages and stuff like that. So it's huge. So Kingdoms is cool because it splits up the base map into more kingdoms. So you have like more factions, like the Kyrgyz was split into 2, the Kuzites and the Kyrgyz. And then this one split into 2, and then they split most of the factions into 2. And then what I did was I used other mods to populate them with different types of units. So, you know, in addition to having more factions and more cities and towns, I also added more troop types and added new factions into the game because they already split them up nicely. So I could just, you know, repopulate them with cool new content. All right, so what else we got? All right, so there's the Eagles Rising. This is a really cool mod. Developers are real cool. This one adds really authentic looking Roman troops, and they have custom weapons, custom armor that is really Roman inspired. It's not 100% historically accurate, but it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. And then we have Tetsujin, also known as Ronin. Its previous name is Ronin, now it's called Tetsujin. This one lets you play as Japanese samurai, which is very cool. And then we have this Quasya Kingdoms, which is, well, translates directly to Chinese heroes. And they are a Chinese Tang Dynasty inspired faction. And their units look super cool as well. They're a little bit broken right now. If the dev doesn't fix it, I'll go in and fix it myself. Right now, upgrading troops to horse-mounted troops does not require a horse. So yeah, every other faction requires a horse to upgrade the horse troops, but this one doesn't, so this is a bit broken. Hopefully it gets fixed before I actually play their troops. Right now I don't plan on playing their troops, but if it's not, I'll go in and fix it myself, which I've done with a lot of mods just to get them to work. I had to mod mods so that they would work. That's because I have so many mods and a lot of them break, crash, and just not compatible, so I went in and did a lot of tweaking myself just to get everything to work together. This one is pretty cool. This one's really overpowered as well though. This one, not much I can do right now, but probably is good to rebalance them. So the Amazons of Calradia, they're Greek toga wearing waifus. It's an all-female faction. They're Greek Amazon inspired, so they wear white togas. They have very, very weak armor, but they're still very overpowered because their basic unit, their basic peasant infantry, can carry noble bows. So instead of going and farming Battanian Fiends, all you need to do is recruit these Amazons and you have an army entirely filled with noble bows, which is kind of broken. So very, very broken. Although they don't have much armor, they're still really too powerful. Like Sync Point World Map Scene Manager, this is a very cool mod because this lets me merge all the different mod packs. Like these guys add their own cities into the basic map. This guy add their own cities as well. This one adds its own cities as well. Using this, I can actually merge all those new towns and cities into a basic map, which is based on the Calradia expanded map. So I get all these additional towns, cities, and villages and stuff. It might look weird on the map because some towns are too close to each other, some villages are too close to each other, but I did some modding of my own to fix some of those issues, and you will see that when I go into the game. Improved Wonders is very cool because now Wonders die really easily. So what this does is it doubles their bonus non-combat skills. So like for example, scouting, trading, stewardship, whatever they come with, they start with 40, this one gives it 80. So at least they start with more of these skills, starts them out in more useful positions, which is great because in many cases, the companions die before they gain anything, and it's just so pointless to train them up. So you're better off starting with some skills and something. Anyway, Mod Troop Mods adds more custom troop trees with custom mod armor and stuff like that. Reskin is a really cool one. It adds really nice Valandian units like this one up here. This one, yeah, that is from the Reskin Rearm mod. Makes units look super cool. You'll see it in the game real soon. And we have the Valkyrie. Okay, so this one may be a bit subjective because this one allows you to have these topless like Valkyrie type units. I thought the topless one looks quite cool, so I'm going with that. There's options for fully clothed, topless, and fully nude. I went with just topless. I think that's tasteful and still interesting to look at and fun to play with, and they look different from everyone else, so we went with that. Calradia at War is a very, very good mod. It adds 21 new factions. Not main factions, but minor factions. So like manhunters, like barbarians, enemies in the map that are walking around. They're really cool because you walk around the map and suddenly you see this guy who's got huge armies and he's like ready to smack you, and it's really cool. I think I'm missing a mod here. Yeah, I'm missing a mod here. The Chaos's yeah, definitely missing a mod here. Chaos's party pack. Party sizes mod. I think it's here, but I did not put the, yeah, this one. Chaos's party sizes. This allows me to increase the party size to a huge number. I mean, potentially a huge number. So it's very good because like looters, there can be looters that are like 300 units in size now. So you like this looter army running around. So the game is a lot harder now because units can spawn, parties can spawn up to 8 times bigger. So you could have like 200-300 looters in a stack, or you know, like 500 soldiers in one stack. It can be massive, right? So it makes the game a lot more difficult because you can't just run around and destroy everything. Because even the neutral, like hostile things walking around, like looters, can destroy you when there are hundreds of them. So it makes the game by default harder. It also devalues some of the attributes you gain, like using the attributes meta pack. It gives you stats, it makes you more powerful, lets you do AoE damage because you get cut through damage and stuff like that. But by making everybody spawn with tons more enemies, it also kind of diminishes your value, because maybe you previously could kill 20 guys, and then now with all these bonuses you can kill 30 guys. But when there's hundreds more enemies, you know, your personal contribution starts to weaken a bit, not matter as much. Anyway, so we have a lot of these equipment mods as well. It's mostly stuff that are integrated with the troop mods, because these troop mods require additional item packs, armor packs, weapon packs, and all that, and that's basically to support all these mods. And we have a lot of other mods that we're not using because they have crashed, or I found them unbalanced and I replaced them. So I did a lot of modding as well, because a lot of these mods don't work together, don't work so well, and I had to fix all of that. So now everything should work perfectly. All right, so we have well, from here 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. There's 18 cultures here. There's actually 20 factions in the game, but it's also because that 3 of them are Empire factions. So we have 3 Empire factions, and then we have 18 in total. Now, if you use my mods list and you go in and try to play these, you can't actually play these. You can't start as them because they're not fully fleshed out. So they will crash because they don't have strings for certain things. I could fix that. I actually fixed it a little bit, because previously this word, the name of the culture, won't even show up. I fixed it so that at least the name of the culture shows up. But if you try clicking on these and continuing, it will crash the game. So if you're trying to play something similar to my mods list, go with the stuff that has pictures on them. Yeah, any of the faction cultures that have pictures on them will work just fine. Alright, so we're going to be playing... Let's do Valandian. Yeah, let's do Valandians. 20% more XP. Now I'm just gonna go with random because I can't be bothered to... Alright, yeah. You look like a scruffy bearded dude. I'll do just fine. Maybe a bit taller. Yeah, that's cool. Alrighty. We are... Let's see. What shall we be? Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Hope you like my little walkthrough on what the mods do in my mod pack. And maybe at some point I'll bundle it all together and make it easy. Because I customize so much that if you just download all the mods in my list, you will not get the same game that I am, because I've customized and configured and tweaked and fixed lots and lots of stuff. So every stat matters now, because everything you get gives you bonuses. It doesn't just make it easier to learn your skills, but it actually does something. Like, for example, endurance increases your movement speed, your athletics running speed, as well as gives you more HP. So athletics is, endurance is really good. Intelligence is really good as well, because it gives you discounts on your troop upkeep. So you want to have huge armies and you don't want to pay too much money. Having high intelligence is good. Or was it social? I can't remember. Was it leadership? Was either intelligence or social that reduces your upkeep costs? Anyway, one of these things is gonna help a lot. So I'm going to go with a bit of social as well. I'm just gonna have my skills like more or less spread out. Seems fine. We'll spread it out a bit. I will go serve in a lord's army, so we'll need some fighting skills. I want to go with intelligence as well, so I have cheaper army upkeeps. but not too heavily. More intelligence is a yes. And then let's see, then you can have even more intelligence. But I think at this point I'll go with endurance because I like having high HP. And polearm is good, so is riding skills. And what else? Let's see. So I can get some athletics. Or I can go with social. The social also gives me a point in steward, a point in charm. Or I can just get more intelligence. Or I can get some endurance. Maybe I go for intelligence. Because I go for intelligence and then the next tier I get another point of endurance. And that should do it, I think. That should do it. Okay, so the last one, we go fast horse because that gets our endurance to 4 points. Cool. Alright, let's name our character. Alright, so with Valandian, we get 20% more upgrade XP to troops from battles. Cool. And we spread our skills out, so we're not too focused. But our primary skills are intelligence and endurance. Alright, as always, we're going to be playing on maximum difficulty. So watch me die. Watch me die a lot, because that's going to happen. Here we are. We'll skip the tutorial. And in we go. Of Cain. Let's see. Some fancy Romanish looking flag. How about a little pigeon? I like this little stag. Yeah, fine, I'll go with the stag. That's what I used in my last run. Kinda like a stag. I think it looks cool. Plus it fits shields quite well. Yeah, I put in so much effort into this, yeah. I spent like 120 hours just to get all my mods working, which includes remodding them just to get them working. So I've spent like 100 hours in the game just testing things and crashing constantly, testing things, crashing constantly, until finally I modded everything so that they work and they don't crash anymore. So as you can see, this is a huge ass map. This is a bigger map than I think anybody has ever played, because I put in all the mods that add content and all the changes. It's just massive. This is just villages, and then there's castles, there's villages, and there's this that are weird error. It's not errors, but you know, one modder created a village here. I mean a town here, and then a different modder added one here too. And then when I merged them together, you end up with this. Now some of them weren't working, so I actually had to go in and mod them so that it would work. Like for example, this one. This one's actually not accessible. If you try to walk here in the base mod, it won't let you walk here because the entrance is inside of this castle and you can't actually walk in there. But I modded it, so I changed the position of it, and now it'll work. Like for example, you click here, it actually changes the location. See, it changes it to here. So I modded it so that the positions are not accessible. Same thing with this castle over here. As you can see, the entrance of the castle is floating in the air. It's not connected to the nav mesh, the navigation mesh. So if you try to walk to this castle in the base mod, it will just break. It's not working. So I fixed that mod by making it accessible. So now I changed the location to slightly further up front, so you can actually walk into it now. So I made a lot of these small little mods and changes and fixes so that mods would work. Yeah. Fixing broken mods all day, every day. so these are the Valkyrie, which are, warning, not safe for work. But they have very cool units. Yeah, cool units. They're very strong, but because they don't really wear armor, their armor is very weak, so they're quite balanced. These guys are quite balanced. They don't really have armor, so they die very easily. They're not terrible though, they're quite good. I like this faction. I find them quite strong. Even though they're not very well armored, they're still quite strong and quite fun to play. And an army of naked women charging at you? Come on, that's gotta be terrifying. Gotta be terrifying. There's another woman faction called the Amazons. They're here in white. Now these guys are very, very overpowered. Now they're not as balanced as the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie I think are more balanced. These guys are very, very OP because they... Let me just explain that. I can mod it to fix that, but at the moment I left it as is. So they have these... Their basic unit is a tier 2 unit. What's it called? Clan Woman, yeah. So this is their basic unit. It's a tier 2, so they skip a tier already to begin with. And then their max level archer is as good as a Fiend archer. So they all carry noble longbows, which is, well, the best foot bow. And they have 2 stacks of arrows, which is crazy. They don't have much in terms of armor, but you know, if you're killing everybody before they can get close, who cares, right? Who cares? They're very strong. And the thing is, these are their basic peasant units. You can recruit all stacks of these inside their cities and their villages. It's crazy powerful. You can get hundreds of fiends. It's crazy. They're crazy strong. So this is just their basic unit. They have their elites as well. And their elites are slightly different. They're actually heavily armored. Well, not super heavily armored, but relatively heavily armored for their types of units and very strong as well. But I'm most concerned about their basic unit. Their basic unit is just too strong if you have noble bows. So that may eventually get rebalanced by me. If not by them, then by me. I will rebalance it. So here we are. We just one dude. Now, as I've mentioned, we have this mod that increases the party sizes of everything. So basically, like this, originally in the game, maybe it's 7 guys, and now it's 25. So it makes it much harder for you to play, because you can't just run around and solo everything, because everything is huge. You will soon see stacks of hundreds of looters and hundreds of enemies and stuff like that. So you can't just wander around thinking you'll destroy everything. It doesn't work that way in my mod setup. You walk around, it's very dangerous. The world is filled with dangerous things, and you could get crushed really easily. So anyway, there are 2 ways to start out with this setup of mods. One is go work for somebody. And I don't mean like, oh, join them as a mercenary. No, you join them by joining their army and working as a peasant in their army and leveling up by making kills. And then eventually you get high enough, you get enough money, and you can do stuff. I'm going to use that route because I guess that would be more interesting. It's not the optimal route though. It's not the optimal route, but it's kind of fun. So let's go. Also, I have Canesville over here. I've modded them in, but it's a very, very weak. It's a very weak faction. It's the weakest faction in the game. They have the coolest units, but they're the weakest faction in game. So Valandia is originally over here, but they got replaced by some mods like this. The Eagles Rising mod replaced this faction with the Paliacs, and then the other mod replaced. Eagles Rising also replaced these guys with the Driatics, the Dacians. So this is replaced, this is replaced. So the other Valandian faction is over here. They're more modified to be like Rhodoks right now. So the Valandians actually got wiped out of the game. So I remodded them back in myself. So I remodded the Valandians in, and I, put them into Canesville. So the new Valandians, they're back in. They're in this kingdom called Aurorium, Oriorum, whatever you want to call it. They're really weak. Their only city is Canesville. And they've got a leader who is very strong. I made him stronger, and I created a bigger family tree. This is a bug which I haven't been able to fix yet. Spent a lot of time on it. Like, it's duplicating some of these characters. I've modded them so they're stronger, and I added more people to this family. So now he's technically, these two don't exist. They're just bugged. So, but yeah, he has got 7 children. He's got 7 children, minus these two. These two are just duplicates, but there's 7 children. And they're all pretty strong in stats. Oh yeah, and this one's bugged as well. Her tits are hanging out, but I don't know. Who cares? Maybe they look better that way. Maybe they look better that way. Why not? Anyway, so these guys are... I tried to fix that anyway, but a lot of work to do. So I decided I'm just gonna stream. I can't fix everything. There's so many things that need to be fixed. I can't fix everybody's mods. It's not possible. I fixed as much as I could. And then I just want to play with it now. I just want to play now before I get burned out. Because I spent so much time modding and fixing mods that I want to play before I burn out. More breathing space. Yeah. So anyway, I added the Valandians back in. And the cool thing about these Valandians is they're super cool. They're balanced though. They're not super strong. But they do look super cool. Let me just show you where they are, how they look. The super cool units. Let's get that one. Yeah, look at that. Look at this dude, man. So cool, man. This is based on some Dark Souls thing. Like the helmet is a Dark Souls helmet that somebody modded in. And then you gotta look at these guys. Just so freaking cool. So anyway, they're not too strong, but I modded them in here. And this faction, if you're playing my mods list, and you see Canesville right here, they're gonna get wiped out very quickly because there's only one clan in this entire faction, and they are gonna die. There's only one clan, so the maximum number of troops they can get is like 500, and other armies can feel like 2,000 units. So they just run over Canesville and then Canesville will be destroyed. But if you want to save them, I made it so that they're weak, but if you want to, you could help them and try to keep them alive. But it's still very difficult. Even if I join Canesville, I think they'll die. Just super hard. The helmet where you can't see anything, but it's still badass. Perfect, right? Who needs to see stuff, right? I mean, visibility is overrated. All you just do is swing your sword over and over again, and you'll kill shit. There's another bug in this game. I think it's a base game bug though, that turns your entire screen black. So I've had to go through several battles blind. I literally play in that battle blind. I can't do anything about it because I can't fix that bug. It's probably a vanilla bug. The entire screen goes black, but you're still working. You're still fighting and stuff. I can see the flags, but I can't see the units because they're all black. So I've actually played through battles blind. Like literally swinging my weapon, killing stuff, but cannot see anything. So anyway, that's my testing. Swing and roll. Yeah, just all you gotta do is swing and roll. So anyway, let me just check with you guys. What do you want to do? There's also the Chinese faction, which is super cool, by the way. The Chinese faction is very, very cool faction. Let me just show you units. It's inspired by Tang Dynasty. And I love how they look. They're so cool. Look at them, man. Cool units. And they got the elites that look very cool as well. Let's find some of them. I think this is the 3. No, it's the wrong tree. Where's that 3? Ah, there you go. The fancy tree. Look at this guy. Oh my god, looks badass, man. Looks badass. So anyway, yeah, these guys are like super nice, super cool. It's cool stuff, man. It's cool stuff. And then there's a lot of really cool stuff, but we'll see it as we go. The Empire as well, heavily modded by the Eagles Rising mod, and it made their units all like super badass looking. Look at them. Look at them. Just so cool looking. And they added this slingers. Slings are kind of OP though. They are super powerful. They're super powerful because they do blunt damage, which basically does full damage to armored people. Remember when when those looters would smack people to death, even a fully armored, super heavily armored guy would get smacked to death by looters because their stones are blunt. So yeah, now they're slings, and slings are blunt damage. So these guys will just destroy armies with heavily high armored stuff. Dynasty Warrior in there? Yeah, it's Dynasty Warriors. It's basically Dynasty Warriors, these Chinese factions. And then there's the Japanese faction, which is super cool as well. Tetsojin, which used to be called Ronin, but they renamed it to Tetsojin. These guys got the Japanese samurai in here. Which one's the newbie recruit? There you go. There you go. So they got cool Japo samurai stuff. They have way more shields than I like because samurai don't use shields. They don't use shields because it's dishonorable. So the only unit trees that should have like very little bit of shields should be Ashigaru trees, the peasant trees. Only peasants use shields because noble samurai do not use shields. It's dishonorable to cover yourself. Yeah. Hey, what's up, VP Viper? Welcome. Yeah, and the slingers are just really strong because there's ammo upgrades as well, and slingers are just really broken. I think. I mean, the Empire faction is super strong, but then again, bear in mind that all of these modded factions, all of them are really strong. So maybe it's okay for the Empire to be super strong because everyone's super strong too. Like the Valkyries are good. These Amazons are super good because everybody got a noble bow. You know what I mean? And then everybody's got cool units. So maybe it's balanced. It's chaotically balanced because everybody is so OP that now OP is the norm and nobody is OP. You know what I mean? If everybody is OP, then who's OP? Nobody. Everyone's balanced. If everyone's so OP, right? So anyway. So here we are, we're starting out here, and there's a lot of places we could go. We could go hang around in Little Asia, you know, China and Japan are out here. We can go to Mongolia, all these Mongolian factions. Go up north where the Valkyrie are and hang out with the Sturgians and the Nords and the Valkyries. We could go west and hang out with the Palyaks, the Dacians, and the Rhodoks. We could go south, hang out with the Apostolians. I have no idea what these guys are. I actually haven't fought them or played with them before, so I don't really know. They're huge though. They have like 6 towns, which is really big. There's only 2 factions in the game that start with 6 towns. This Apostoli guy and then the Chinese faction. The Huaxia Chinese faction starts with 6 as well. The Japanese samurai start with 4. Most factions start with 4 to 5. So 6 is pretty large. I guess these guys got 6, and the Chinese factions got 6 as well. And then most of them have 4 to 5. And there's a few that start with 1, like this one here, the Valkyries. They have 1 town and 2 castles, which is still decent. And then the Amazons, which only have 1 town and 1 castle, but they are really, really strong, so it doesn't matter because they'll just conquer stuff. Pretty sure, 100% sure they'll just destroy the Empire here because they have noble bows. Like everybody's got a noble bow. It's crazy. So we can start out anywhere, or we can go try to rescue Canesville. We'll probably lose though. We'll probably get wrecked because in my testing, every time I tried helping Canesville dies anyway. It's impossible to save Canesville. It's just everyone's so strong. Canesville only has 1 clan. It's not just the number of towns, it's also because there's only 1 clan. Because there's only 1 clan, the maximum number of troops you can field is just really small. If you have a lot of clans, then maybe you'll survive, but if you only have 1 single clan in that entire faction, then you're gonna get wrecked. How do I get there? Oh, you take a boat. Oh yeah, so the Calradia expanded mod added like not boats but like naval passages. Like you see these small little boats. That's basically your boat path. There are boat paths all over the place. I mean not everywhere, but there's some boat paths here and there. So you can take the boat Like here, you can take a boat. Here, you can take the boat as well. And then there's some boat paths elsewhere. Like here, there's a boat path. You can see the small little boats lined the way. Yeah, so lots of ways to get in and out. So it's pretty cool. So let's go to Canesville and hang out. But first, let's maybe check out Poros. Since it's nearby, it's close. We'll check it out. So, in case you're wondering, this is not easy at all. This is a very difficult collection of mods. Everybody is massive. You'll start to see them soon. Hundreds of looters walking around in a single stack. Like, you can't... It's possible, but it's very difficult to start out. We could start, buying an army and then fighting the smaller stacks. Or maybe even jumping in when someone else is already fighting. Jumping in and helping. But the easier way, I think, to some people, the easier way would be just join a faction and make money that way. Because you can join a faction by working for them, not as a mercenary. You can't join them as mercenaries yet because your clan rank is too low. As a clan rank of 0, they won't even take you as mercenaries. So, is there anything to buy? Not really. Not really. Oh yeah, and yeah, lead bullets. Sling lead bullets. And there's even better bullets too. They're fancier bullets. Fancy bullets. Anyway, when you join a faction and fight for them, your equipped gear does not matter. You will get what their peasants use, and then when you level up, your gear improves as well. So we'll do that, so we don't have to worry too much about our gear. And we're not going to recruit anybody, because once you join a faction, all your people are left behind. Unless you want to recruit them just for, like, faction bonuses. So if we recruited this girl and just left her in town before we join the faction, then she will help us get better relations with the people in the town. How much you cost? 581. Alright, fine. I'll take her. We'll take her. And let's see. Can we give her a horse? I don't think I can afford anything really. 400 bucks. Probably not a good idea. So let's just go. Let's just travel. We might want to talk to these guys just to see if I can do the quest. Noretz's Folly. I don't know if we got an update for that. Probably not. These guys want troops. No, I can't really do that. What about the other dude? Oh yeah, look at the armor. Super cool, right? That's from the Eagles Rising mod, which completely revamped the Empire factions. Super cool. Oh wait, I want to talk to a Battle of Pandriac. Lugon, okay. Alright, we'll keep going. We shall keep going. Oh, that 23. Yep, can't fight that. Not a chance. Extortion by... Oh yeah, we can't do these quests unless you have a proper army. Most of the quests are now not really doable. At least not easily doable. So yeah, we can't do this, so we may as well leave. Try to avoid getting smacked by anybody because everyone's huge. So there's a 4x, well this is actually 8x speed, but I highly suggest if you use my mod list, do not just click this indiscriminately because there's so many super-sized parties out there. If you just walk too fast, they'll just catch up to you and you won't notice it before they smack you to death. So it's super easy to get wrecked. Grain is reasonably cheap. Buy a little bit. Maybe some grapes. Just a little bit. You need tools, huh? Well, good for you. I don't have any tools. We'll check out Zionica and then take the naval passage to Canesville. Alright, what's here? So one way you could develop yourself is as in tournaments as well. Tournaments have been revamped, so if you can find a tournament to do, Jamaris, Kasira. Jamaris is the nearest one. Tournaments are a great way to get skills and gain money. So in the default game, I think you get like 5% or something of XP compared to real battle, but this has been fixed with the mod, so you get bonus XP. In fact, instead of like 5%, you get 120%, I believe is what I set it to. So you can get plenty of XP just fighting in arenas and tournaments, and you get even more if you win. And you can pick your prizes too. So yeah, so that's one way you could survive if you choose to play my mods list and play the super hard mode. I don't want to spend too much money because I might need to. Yeah, I might need some of that money later. Let's just save up. Not much going on, right? There's a guy, I can't recruit him, I don't have the money. $800, yeah, no, don't have the money. All we can do is get the one. And then after that, we'll dump her in Canesville and then leave her there to gain relations with those traders and such. Did I trade online mod? No, I did not. That's more of an MMO. The online mod is like an MMO. So I didn't play that one. That doesn't do much for me. I don't want to play an MMO. Also, you can see that the boats are actually underwater. That's a bug, but that's all they can do right now. They can't really fix that yet. You have to create a navigation mesh and set it to the surface, and just not too easy, I suppose. Alright, so we're here. We're here. You can also use the docks to sail to a different town, which is cool, but we don't actually want to sail. We're here. We're here to join. We're here to join the lost cause, Canesville. I think I want to buy that desert horse, but it'll make us completely broke. I think I'll buy it anyway, because this is pretty important if you want to survive. And then I can give the chick. Oh, she already has a horse. Ah, it's an old sumpter. Yeah, let's keep the old sumpter and then give her a regular sumpter. And we'll just leave her in town so that she'll help us gain relations while we're out fighting stuff. Alright, we'll pay basically all our money. That's all we got. Okay, we'll leave her behind. Enjoy. Okay, so now she's hanging here. She's working for us, but she's hanging here so that over time we'll get some relations with the traders. Also, when you join as a freelancer in a company, it basically removes all your troops anyway. So whatever troops you have, whatever companions you have, they get dispersed and they'll just scatter, and you will not have them with you. So you may as well just send them away anyway. So anyway, this is the faction. They have very few troops. We're going to be fighting some battles. We're probably going to get wrecked, but we'll join and see how it goes. So he looks super cool, right? Look at these guys. So cool. I am Kane. You're the Lord of Canesville. Dude, that's my town. I'm taking over. Alright, so now we'll join their ranks. And we'll basically fight for them. Okay, so now that's it. We're basically walking around in their faction, you know. We don't get to walk around, they walk around for us. But we can... No, we can't train yet, we're not at full health. When you're full health, you can do things like train with troops, hunt and fetch food, stuff like that. I could pay to heal, but... yeah, never mind. Save my money. We have very little money. We'll save our money. Keep going. Also, we haven't actually joined that faction, so it doesn't give us things like the troop summary and stuff like that. We can't actually see a troop summary. They are at war with the apostle faction though. The guys over here, the yellow guys. So hopefully they don't get themselves destroyed. But it is entirely possible. Because they're so weak. Yeah, now they're doing the smart thing, which is just buy more troops, buy more troops. Just keep buying more troops. Get as many troops as possible. We'll run the 4 speed now, which is actually 8 speed. 8x. Yeah, so they're not doing very much. Just walking from village to town, just recruiting troops. Which is fine, because they need to do that anyway. Otherwise they're gonna get wrecked. Yeah, just recruit more troops, put them in the settlement, whatever you gotta do. Do whatever you gotta do. Oh yeah, we're at 100% health now, so I can actually go do things like train. Yeah, let's may as well train. Get some XP. So we gain 2 skill points in athletics, some one-handed. Cool. Unless we get wounded, we can keep doing this. Training hurt you badly, but you survived. Yeah, so we gained some XP, but we're hurt. We lost 20% of our health. So to get promoted, because right now we are serving as a regular soldier, which is a Valandian recruit. We see what units a Valandian recruit has. It's pretty shit. Yeah, so we're basically this guy. We have a Western simple spear, that's it. And then we have this armor. So it doesn't care what armor you actually have on your body. They just give you the default stuff. So this is our gear. Our original gear is saved away somewhere else. But this is the gear we currently have. I wonder if I can use my axe. This is an expensive axe. I don't want it destroyed. But I put it on this, he'll wipe it out later. So we'll just end up losing everything. Nah, we're fine. Yeah, basically the armor and the gear is just rubbish. So we're just having to deal with it until we get promoted. No, I think they're going off to battle now. Yep, these are enemies, so... Oh, there you go. I'll attack. So we're fighting militias. 99 militias. Alrighty, let's do this. Okay, so yeah. Here we are fighting in the line infantry. Look at these guys, man, they look so cool. I'm stabbing you with my pitchfork, man. Watch it, Kane's coming. We'll stab you. Charge! Got me one. Got two. 3. Damn, this guy's quick. Get back here, you piece of shit. I can't catch him. I don't have the athletics to catch him. Oh well, he's gonna get away from me. Yeah, the dude is fast, man. Also, due to our mods, lords are now super strong. You don't see them dying as the first person did anymore. They have like double, triple the HP they used to have, and they hit twice as hard, so now they are super soldiers. All lords, companions, they're all super soldiers now, which is perfect because that's the way I like it. I like them to be super strong. Are we dropping frames? Oh yeah, we are dropping frames. We might have to abandon the YouTube stream then. Alright, so those of you who are watching us in YouTube, unfortunately, there is lag. Yeah. It's lag on only the stream. So I must drop one of the streams. So that at least one of the streams is good. Yeah, so those of you who are watching us on YouTube, do come by the Twitch stream. It's in the descriptions.